For as long as self-driving cars have existed, their most precise sensor has technically been colorblind. The laser-based system many of them rely on to build a 3D map of the world has only ever seen shapes and distances, never actual color. The same way a black and white photograph shows you form without ever showing you red, green, or blue. That just quietly changed. A newly released sensor can now capture full color and precise 3D depth at the exact same instant, from the exact same piece of hardware, for the first time ever. Here's why. That's a genuinely bigger deal than it sounds. In this video, we're breaking down exactly how self-driving cars have been perceiving the world up until now, why combining two separate sensors to get both shape and color has always been a real limitation, how this new sensor actually solves that problem at the hardware level, and why multiple companies around the world are now racing to build their own version of it. We'll also look honestly at what this breakthrough does and doesn't actually solve for self-driving technology as a whole. This channel covers the future of vehicles and mobility every week, so subscribe if that's your thing. Let's get into it. To understand why this matters, you need to understand how these vehicles have actually been perceiving the world. Most autonomous systems fall into one of two camps. Some rely entirely on regular cameras, similar to your phone, using software to estimate distance and depth from flat images alone. Others rely heavily on a laser-based sensor called LiDAR, which fires out rapid pulses of light and measures how long they take to bounce back, building an extremely precise three-dimensional map of everything around the vehicle. The trade-off has always been this. LiDAR is genuinely excellent at knowing exactly where something is and exactly what shape it has. But until now, it has never been able to tell you what color that object actually is. So the traditional workaround has been to just add a separate camera alongside the LiDAR unit, then use software afterward to line up the color data from the camera with the 3D shape data from the LiDAR. That sounds simple enough, but it introduces real problems. The two sensors are physically mounted in slightly different positions, capture data at slightly different moments in time, and have to be carefully calibrated to line up correctly at highway speeds or in a crowded, fast-moving city intersection. Even a small mismatch between where the camera thinks something is and where the LiDAR thinks something is can matter. Engineers call this sensor fusion. And while it works reasonably well, it's fundamentally a workaround stitching two separate viewpoints together, rather than one sensor simply seeing the complete picture from a single unified source. So how does this new approach actually fix that? Instead of pairing a separate camera with a LiDAR unit, this new sensor detects both laser light for precise distance and ordinary ambient light for color, using the same physical hardware at the same time. A specialized chip inside processes both types of light together, building a 3D map where every single point already carries its correct color information, the exact moment it's captured, with no separate camera, no after-the-fact calibration, and no software stitching required at all. According to the company behind it, the sensor can detect an extraordinary number of individual light particles every second, allowing it to work effectively in both bright daylight and near darkness. It's a genuinely different hardware approach, not just a software improvement layered on top of the existing method. So beyond just being a neat technical trick, why does this genuinely matter for real world safety? Color carries real meaning on the road that pure shape alone can't capture. A red traffic light and a green traffic light are nearly identical in physical shape and distance, but obviously mean completely different things. Brake lights are only meaningful because they're red. A vehicle's lighting shape alone doesn't tell you whether it's braking or just idling. Road signs use color deliberately to convey urgency, from a calm blue informational sign to an urgent red stop sign of a similar size and shape. Being able to instantly read that color information from the exact same precise 3D sensor, without waiting on a separate camera system to be stitched in afterward, means a genuinely faster, more reliable read on situations where color is the entire point. And this isn't happening in isolation. Multiple companies around the world are racing to build their own version of this technology right now. A major American sensor company was first to bring a mass-produced version to market, but a large Chinese LiDAR manufacturer one that already supplies most of the country's biggest automakers, announced its own competing full-color sensor chip within weeks. That company claims its version can detect not just position and color, but also an object's velocity and reflectivity, all fused together at the hardware level. LiDAR sensors in general have also gotten dramatically cheaper in recent years, dropping enough that this technology is starting to spread beyond expensive robotaxis and into more affordable vehicles, and even smaller vehicles like electric bikes and scooters. So does this mean self-driving cars are suddenly a solved problem? Genuinely, no. And it's worth being honest about that. This technology fixes one real specific limitation in how vehicles perceive the world, but perception is only one part of driving. The much harder problem remains decision making, correctly interpreting ambiguous situations, predicting what pedestrians and other drivers might do next, and safely handling genuinely rare, chaotic edge cases, the exact kind of unpredictable moments we've covered before on this channel. Better sensor data makes that decision, making job easier and more reliable, but it doesn't replace it. Think of this as meaningfully upgrading a car's eyesight, not upgrading its judgment. And both of those things still matter enormously for genuinely safe autonomous driving. Zoom out, and this fits neatly into everything we've been covering on this channel about the state of autonomous vehicles right now. We've talked about companies choosing cameras over LiDAR, or LiDAR over cameras, as if it's purely a philosophical choice. This development suggests the more accurate story is that the entire sensor category itself keeps quietly, incrementally improving, chipping away at real limitations one at a time. A car that can now see precise shape and accurate color from a single unified source is measurably better equipped than one that can't, regardless of which broader self-driving strategy a company has bet on. Small, unglamorous hardware upgrades, like this one, rarely make headlines the way a flashy new robotaxi city launch does, but they may end up mattering just as much to how quickly this technology actually becomes trustworthy. So, does a self-driving car finally seeing in color change how you feel about trusting this technology? Even a little? Or does it feel like a small technical detail compared to everything else these systems still need to figure out? Let me know your take in the comments below. If you found this breakdown interesting, subscribe, because we're going to keep covering the quieter hardware breakthroughs that shape this industry just as much as the big headlines. See you in the next one.